All right, let's dive in. Today, we're unpacking Ankur Warikoo's Do Epic Shit. Now, this isn't your typical self-help book. It's really a collection of his thoughts, his biggest failures, and the lessons he's shared with millions of people online. So, let's see what it's all about.
So the book kicks off with this line. Can you believe it? This may be the most useless book you will ever buy. Right away, you know this is different. He's not trying to sell you some kind of magic pill for success. He's basically telling you, look, I'm not here to blow your mind with secrets you've never heard before.
And right there, that's the whole philosophy. Warikoo's big argument is that we actually already know most of the things we need to do to live better. We know we should save more, we know we should be kind, we know we should work hard. The issue isn't a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of awareness in the moment. This book, he says, is just here to be that reminder.
Now, to really get where Warikoo's advice comes from, you have to understand his backstory. And spoiler alert, it is not a perfect, shiny story of one success after another. No, his wisdom is built on a foundation of some pretty brutal failures. He even has a name for it, his failure resume.
Yeah, check this out. It's a tale of two resumes. Your normal resume, right? That's the highlight reel. It's everything you want people to see. But the failure resume? That's the director's cut. It's the behind-the-scenes footage with all the mistakes and wrong turns. And that, he argues, is where the real story is. That's where you actually learn who you are.
And this isn't just a theory he's floating. I mean, look at this timeline. At 19, couldn't get into the top colleges he wanted. At 24, he drops out of a PhD program in the US, which was a huge deal for his family. Then, at 29, he gets fired from a company he helped start. And even into his 30s, he lost a ton of money on a business idea, and by 39, his big venture, Nearby, failed. Jobless, again. This isn't advice from some guru on a mountaintop, it's advice earned from the trenches.
And you know, these failures weren't just numbers on a balance sheet. They hit him right where he lived. He shares this incredibly vulnerable story about a time when things were so tight that to buy his son a bicycle for his birthday, something his kid wanted for a whole year, they had to sell his wife's gold bangles. I mean, that's the raw, unfiltered reality of the journey that we often just see the glamorous side of. So, out of all that struggle, after hitting rock bottom more than once, came this period of deep reflection. And this is where he started to distill all those painful experiences into some really powerful lessons about what actually matters in life.
And this table right here, this is gold. It boils down years of pain into a few core lessons. In his 20s, he realized he was just chasing what he was good at, but he forgot to ask if it actually made him happy. And the money thing? He learned the hard way that if you can't pay for it in cash right now, you can't afford it. Then in his 30s, the lessons got deeper. He saw that a fancy degree doesn't mean anything if you can't work with people. And the big one? Sacrificing your relationships for your career is a deal you will always, always regret. Because time is the one thing you never get back.
So when you pull it all back, what does it really come down to? According to Warikoo, it's these three relationships: how you see money, how you value your time, and maybe the most important one of all, the relationship you have with yourself. Get these three right, he says, and you're pretty much set.
Okay, so we've heard his story of failure and discovery. But how does this all help us? Well, this is where the book really pivots from his journey to yours. The whole point is to stop playing by a rulebook someone else handed you.
I mean, really think about it for a second. Who wrote the rules you're living by? Society? Your parents? That nagging voice in your head? The world is always telling you what success looks like. The first, massive step to freedom is just realizing you're playing a game with rules you never agreed to. That realization, that's self-awareness.
And this is pretty much the mic drop moment of the whole book. True success isn't about the job title, the car, or what other people think. It's an internal thing. It's about looking yourself in the mirror and being genuinely okay with the person looking back at you, with all your flaws and failures included.
All right, now we get into some of the rapid-fire wisdom. This one is huge. We all have these grand plans, these things we're gonna do. But at the end of the day, those intentions mean nothing. You are defined by your actions, plain and simple.
Oh, I love this one because it just completely shatters the myth of luck. Luck isn't some magical lightning bolt that strikes a few chosen people. It's just what happens when you consistently put in the work. You make your own luck by showing up and creating opportunities.
And that's how you do it. That's how you get lucky. Nobody is born a pro. What's the real difference between a professional and an amateur? The pro is just the amateur who didn't quit. They kept showing up, especially on the days they didn't feel like it.
This is a really big mindset shift he talks about, focusing on habits over goals. Think about it. If your goal is to run a marathon, what happens after you cross the finish line? You can feel kind of empty. But if you build the habit of running 3 times a week, you become a runner. It becomes part of your identity. The process is the prize.
So this all brings us to the final and maybe the most urgent call to action in the book. It's all about getting over that fear that holds us back. And the way to do that is to realize there's something much, much scarier than failing. And that's regretting not trying at all.
He puts the choice in these really simple, almost brutal terms. Every single day that passes, you're left with one of 2 things. You can't have both. It's either the results from the things you did or the regret for the things you didn't. That's the deal.
You've probably heard this line before, and for good reason. It's so simple and so painfully true. Just think for a second. Is there something you wish you had started a year ago? That feeling you have right now, that's exactly what your future self is going to feel a year from today, unless you decide to start.
So in the end, the whole message is this. All your failures, your mistakes, your scars, they aren't things to hide. They're your story. They're proof that you were in the arena, that you tried. And the most empowering truth of all is that you're the one holding the pen. So the only question left is, what story are you going to write next?